Who's up first?
I think I am, unless you change the order, Mark.
I didn't.
Okay. Report, call the Committee on Public Safety Emergency Management, the order at 8 o'clock, at 7 o'clock, excuse me. I have two motions this evening. From the docket of December 5th, 2020, I entertain a motion to transfer $9,391.78 from account 1121000-578300, citywide reserve fund for transfer to account 1211000-515030, police sick leave incentive to pay contractual sick leave stipends for FY21.
Second.
I think this is pretty straightforward. We're just putting some money in that fund so they can pay sick leave stipends to wherever it's going. If there's any information needed, I'll try to get the backup. I don't have it with me. Any
No questions for
questions,
me. No.
comments?
No. Contractual.
Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. From the docket of December 5th, 2020, I entertain a motion to transfer $25,000 from account 1124100-578300, citywide reserve fund for transfer to account 1220100-582510, fire department renovations for the needed fire department kitchen renovation.
Second.
I'm glad to see this finally come down and give those gentlemen over there on Union Street an adequate kitchen, a safe kitchen to deal with. Any questions or comments? Todd?
I couldn't agree more. It's great to see this finally come down, and this is the thing that's we one of the rationales, one of the things we talked about when we cut it from the budget, wanting to see this come down before approving a number of other measures. So I'm happy it's finally here. It's taken a while to get here, but I'm happy it's here and encourage people to support it.
It's well needed, and that's the least we can do for them over there. Any other questions or comments from anybody?
Pete?
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, this is the second time I'm going to be supporting this. I think it's the right thing to do, especially when you think that the mold and some of the repairs that need to be taken care of. Plus, when you have the men and women over there working overnights and 2 to 3 days at a time, and the buildings are closed to the public, people can't really even have food delivered. So I think that this kitchen becomes that much more important in this situation that we're facing.
Thank you. My sentiments exactly. No other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. Motion passes. Thank you very much. I close meeting at 7:05.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're closed. Thank you very much.
I'd like to call Transportation and Traffic Committee to order at 7:06. Councilor Conti, Councilor Reynolds, welcome. Nice to see you again. I have one motion and one piece of information. From the docket of July 21st, 2020, I entertain a motion to approve the request to extend the no parking area on Scott Street, southerly side from Route 1 to pole 2321, approximately 330 feet from Route 1.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Conti. You recall we had the public hearing last week. We've discussed this before. Do you or anybody else have any comments, questions, concerns?
I do not.
Councilor Reynolds? I'm sorry, Councilor Reynolds, you're muted.
just glad it's happening.
Yes.
Thank you for
Thank
all
you.
your efforts.
Thank you, Council Reynolds. Anybody, anything else? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
And anybody opposed? Okay, motion passes. Thank you. Just one piece of information. The Traffic Study Commission was supposed to have their monthly meeting last week, but the chair got held up at work and we had to cancel. So we'll meet again in January, which is unfortunate because we have some stuff to do, but it happens. It's that time of year. So if you have anything that you're concerned about, interested in, that's on that docket, let me know, but we'll meet again in January. Do either one of you have anything else you want to discuss that's on the docket?
No,
In
I'm
the
good.
minutes? Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Then I'd entertain a motion to adjourn at 7:07.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.
Councilor Conti, I think perhaps you're next.
No, actually, Ty, you are.
Oh, am I?
Ty,
Okay.
you're next on the list.
All right, we'll go. So from the Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services Committee, and from the docket of January 5th, 2021, I would entertain a motion to accept a donation of $755 in gift cards donated to the Veterans Office by the Alpha Delta Kappa Epsilon chapter. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Thank you. I talked to our Veterans Director, and Ben said that this was this was kind of a nice gift, and I'm not familiar with this particular chapter, but it's a good gift, so thank you, I said. All those in favor? Well, first of all, any discussion? None? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Passed 3-0. And from the docket of January 5th, 2021, I would entertain a motion to transfer $16,749.34.
54 cents.
54 cents. I should have my glasses on. From account 1124100-578300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 11611000-511000 clerk salary to hire a senior clerk for the city clerk's office. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. This is, Steve has told me this is a person that we really need. And that's pretty much what I know. Is there any discussion?
I have some
Thank you.
information to provide some
Absolutely.
additional clarity.
I appreciate it.
So this has been something that I have been working with the mayor since January of this year on providing funding, and this would be a shared resource. You'll all that were around remember that there was a position cut from Steve's office when there were layoffs in the building several years back, and that resource has never been filled. In addition, this position will be a shared resource between the council's office, the council office, and the clerk's office. And if you've been paying attention for the last 16 weeks, prior to both of them coming back to action, there is not going to be any better money spent in my mind than this $16,749.54. Because if everybody in that building and myself and Councilor Jackson hadn't stepped up, we'd all look dumb right now, because everybody picked up the pieces to put it together for Virginia's extended absence and Steve's extended absence. So in my mind, this position is a critical one to keep the offices moving. In addition, it's no surprise to anyone that we will have a new city clerk at the next election. I'm not saying anything publicly that Steve hasn't already said. And so we need to have some this person up and trained and ready for the vacancy and to help the new clerk and help the council office getting the priority tasks completed. And that concludes my comments.
Thank you. Are there any other comments or questions in the committee or anywhere in the council? Okay. So seeing that, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Vote passes 3-0. From the docket of January 5th, 2021, I'm going to read this through and then we're going to have a couple of people I hope are online to talk with us. From the docket of January 5th, 2021, I entertain a motion to approve the following resolution to be sent to the State House to support our Attleboro State Legislature's request to implement a Stop the Spread COVID-19 free testing site in the city of Attleboro. The resolution of the Attleboro Municipal Council in support of creating a COVID-19 Stop the Spread testing site in Attleboro, whereas in June of 2020, Governor Baker launched the Stop the Spread testing program with a stated goal of reducing the prevalence of COVID-19 in communities that are above the state average in total cases, positive test rate, and have experienced a decline in testing levels since April. And whereas, as of December 2020, Attleboro does not have a Stop the Spread COVID-19 testing site or any other cost-free testing site. And whereas the nearest two Stop the Spread testing sites for Attleboro's 45,000 residents are in Brockton and Fall River. Both options are more than 30 miles away and require a 45-minute drive to either of the sites. Public transportation between the cities is not a viable option. And whereas Attleboro is a gateway community, and as a result, traveling 45 minutes to a testing site is a greater burden to Attleboro residents than it may be to more affluent communities. And whereas Attleboro has been in the COVID-19 red zone for a total of 7 weeks, including every week except 2 since September, spanning both before and after the recent shift in red zone metrics. And whereas Attleboro is a border city with Rhode Island, with many residents who need to cross into Rhode Island routinely for work, medical care, groceries, and other reasons. Rhode Island has the highest rate of COVID-19 transmission in New England, likely compounding the contagion rates in Attleboro. And whereas the neighboring communities in the greater Attleboro area, including Foxborough, Mansfield, Norfolk, North Attleboro, Norton, Plainville, and Rentham, have all been in the COVID-19 red zone in recent weeks. And none of these towns have easy access to a Stop the Spread testing site. Now, therefore, the Municipal Council of the City of Attleboro hereby requests the Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts create a Stop the Spread COVID-19 testing site in Attleboro in order to provide accessible, cost-free COVID-19 testing for residents of Attleboro and the surrounding communities and help curb the rampant spread of the virus in this region. Signed by the Municipal Council of Attleboro. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much. Is there any discussion about this matter? Perhaps there might be. We have two guests that I've asked to come on. And first, is Jim Hawkins there by any chance?
He is not at the moment.
He is not. Is Jessica Horseman there?
Yes, I am here.
Thank you, Jessica. You're on the phone, I presume?
Yep. So I am signed in. I just wanted to thank you all for having me here tonight. I believe this is probably my first time meeting most of you.
Jessica, hold on. We don't know. Some people don't know you. So perhaps you'll tell us what your role with the city is now.
Okay. I'm very excited to be part of the city of Attleboro as the new health agent, as I am taking over for Alan Perry, who is retiring on December 30th. So I'm looking forward to serving the residents of Attleboro, and I'm very excited to be here.
Tell us where you came from.
So I came from our bordering community of Seekonk. So although I'm new to Attleboro, I am not new to managing a local health department that borders a neighboring state and whatnot. So these have been ongoing issues that I've been dealing with for the last 10 months as well.
Can you give us a little update about the situation with COVID-19 as we speak?
So currently we're on the rise like all other communities that we surround. So if you look at our numbers over the last 7 weeks, we've seen significant increases in Attleboro over our daily incident rate and also a very large increase in our positivity rate. Over the last 7 weeks, we've jumped almost 6% in rate alone, which is directly reflected and has a correlation to the population that is testing as well.
Does anybody have any questions for Jessica? Councilor Cooper.
I do. So Jessica, thank you. Welcome aboard. Thank you for the update. This is important for lots of different reasons, all of which were laid out in the resolution. The mayor, I did speak to the mayor this evening before this meeting, and he's happy to hear that this is happening. He continues to also put pressure on the Executive Office of Health and Human Services. Rob, he told me the guy's last name, I only wrote Rob down, but that's who the mayor has been in contact with there to try to understand why some communities have multiple sites within the community, and communities affected with a high population or a high concentration of the disease and positivity don't. And the mayor tells me he was pretty frank with them that they need to do more and provide this for the city of Attleboro. So the mayor is also in support of pushing the agenda to get a stop the spread testing site in the city. And I think that we need to continue this push. In addition, the only thing I would suggest that we add to this is that a carbon copy goes to the towns of Foxborough, Mansfield, Norfolk, North Attleboro, Norton, and Plainville, and Rentham, so that they are aware of what we have sent up there since we mentioned them in it. We can make that amendment at the council just to have that CC line on there that this resolution goes to those towns for awareness. That concludes my comments.
Thank you very much.
Again, Jessica, welcome aboard, and thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not sure where Rehoboth and Seekonk are right now. I don't know if they're in the red zone, but perhaps we should consider those communities as well.
So, I mean, I can comment directly. I mean, obviously, I've followed Seekonk very closely. They're seeing a significant spike in their positivity as well. And with them being a bordering community, you definitely might want to take that into consideration. Their positivity rates are very high at the moment, so I think they might want to be included.
We would be glad to do that. Are there any other, is there anyone else who would like to say anything? Okay. Well, we thank you for being.
No, Ty.
Kate,
That's okay. Jay is first.
Jay, I only can see 5 people on my screen. I haven't figured out
Okay.
how to get 10 people on it. Thank you for speaking up. Go ahead, Councilor Jackson.
No, Jay was first. I'm sorry. Councilor Delicio. Then Councilor Cobus.
Councilor Cobus.
And then
None of
D.
them are on
Simone.
the screen. Oh, you're all on my screen.
Yes.
Who's
All right, so
first? Jay, are you first?
I guess I am. So thank you, Chairman Waterman. Jessica, welcome to Attleboro. Look forward to working with you. Ty, I think this is an easy one to get behind, but I think a little bit of credit to Councilor Cobus for really kind of working on the wordsmithing and putting the meat on the bones here. So I think this is really easy to get behind. I think it's something that it's the right thing to do at the right time. So I just wanted to throw my support behind this.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jay.
Councilor Jackson, I think you're next.
No, Councilor Cobus is next.
Oh, thank you. Councilor
Welcome.
Cobus.
I'll jump in and ask a quick question, although I think Kathleen was before me, but just in the nature, just in order to keep moving. Jessica, welcome to Attleboro, and it's great to meet you. If you'll give me a little bit of leeway to potentially go off topic, I had a question regarding Sturdy Memorial Hospital and what the potential was over the next month or so of us exceeding our capacity for beds in the hospital. I know Norwood Hospital is sending people south here. One of the reasons I'm asking is just to sort of try to hammer home the need, especially right now, for this measure and the ability to do some of this testing here in Attleboro, because my understanding is we may be running into trouble with capacity at Sturdy Memorial Hospital. I don't know that to be true, so that's why I'm asking.
And I think that's a struggle across the board with all facilities are facing surge capacity right now. If you look at our numbers, especially around Thanksgiving and the spikes, we're in a little bit of a downward trend, but we're going to see that peak coming off of Christmas again. So definitely, alarming and something for us to be keeping our eyes on. But something to really hit home, we're hearing a lot about the vaccine right now, and it seems like everybody's really pushing for the vaccine, but I think it's a critical time that we're really at that fork in the road that we need to continue with the testing, because although the vaccine's on the horizon and we're going to start pushing it out there, a lot of the general population's not going to be seeing that vaccine till, April, May, June, and we still really need to be pushing for testing in the community as well to support that.
Excellent. So have you heard anything about capacity for Sturdy or no?
Not directly for capacity. I know hospitals in general are struggling with the capacity. I know we were on a DPH call right now, and the big focus is around the Lawrence and Worcester area. They're seeing the higher surge capacity than we're seeing down here at the local level. Nothing has been indicated to me that Sturdy is at that point at the moment.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilor DeSimone.
Thank you, Council Waterman. Very briefly, Jessica, welcome aboard. Congratulations.
Thank
Good
you.
luck in your new position. I wholeheartedly support this, and I appreciate all the work you can do with the mayor and whomever else it might take to make this happen. So thank you for your efforts in this regard.
Thank
Super
you.
important. Thank you.
It is.
And Councilor Jackson.
Thank you, Council Waterman. Very well, thank you. Hi, Jessica. Nice to
Hi.
see you. Spoke with you
Nice to
today.
see you too.
So Council Waterman, I'm so happy that this has come down and that we're looking for a free testing site, because only today I had this conversation that I was just bewildered by, and I had it with Chief Hegney. And just like so many other departments in the city, he's had to struggle with many of his officers and dispatches, testing positive, and they've tested positive, and he's had to send them to Milford and to Arlington just to get tested, because there is no other free testing site around here. But what really, really bothered me the most was the story he just told me that happened just last week. Sturdy Hospital is known when they have an issue with a patient who they are unable to control themselves. They will contact the police department, and the police department will send a couple of officers over, to try and calm the patient down to see if they can help out, because it's something Sturdy Hospital's own security can't handle. So he sent a couple of officers over, and they were able to talk the gentleman down, and they got him calmed and everything. And the officers went back to work, back into the building. And an hour or so later, the chief gets a call that the patient had actually tested positive. So the chief said, "Oh, geez," he said, "I'm going to send my guys over right now so you can test them." No is what Sturdy said to the police officers who just responded to their call. And they said, no, have them contact their own primary care doctor and find a way to get their own tests done themselves. I mean, it's reprehensible that a hospital that is based in our hometown, the city of Attleboro, who relies on our public city officers to come and help them out in a situation in their building, they're calling them in to help them in, that they wouldn't even give them a test. What am I missing here? This is all one-sided. That's what it sounds like. And I do know from Chief Hegney, he did tell me that Mayor Haro had reached out to Sturdy Hospital in defense of the police department, and Sturdy Hospital refused. And now he has sent a letter to the president, I understand. So the mayor is fighting for this as well. So it's good to see that we are also trying to fight for this free testing zone because it's necessary. It's obviously necessary because our officers should not, and our firefighters should not have to be sent up to Arlington. And the chief actually had to get so many of his officers tested in one day that he had to contact EOPS, and EOPS opened up a testing station for them on a day that normally they were closed so that he could get it all at once, so we could get everything balanced out. So I'm happy to see this being pushed forward, and I hope everybody supports it. Thank you.
Councilor Waterman, this is Councilor Conti asking for the floor.
You have the floor.
Thank you, Councilor Waterman. Jessica, welcome to Attleboro.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that you come to Attleboro from a neighboring town. And my question is one of association that you have with other health department officials. Is there a Bristol County Health Agent Association?
So we do meet as a Region 5 coalition, which is 21 surrounding communities. So we meet monthly, and if there are issues that come up, we'll meet more frequently, but we all do belong to this coalition, so we're aware of what's going on in everybody else's community.
So are those 25 member coalitions all outside of a COVID testing site?
New Bedford is in the site, and Fall River is in the site. They have sites. New Bedford has 4, Fall River has 2, and then the next closest is Brockton, who has 3.
Thank you, Jessica. I was,
You're welcome.
you know, my line of thought, I was thinking maybe we could get some support from your coalition, but that doesn't look reasonable. Thank you, Councilor Waterman.
You're
I
welcome.
just want to make a follow-up comment,
Yes, Councilor Cooper, go ahead.
which is an interesting point, Richard. Thank you for calling that out, because we're the only city in the county that doesn't have a testing site, right? Does Taunton?
Well, Taunton does
No.
not have a site. So Taunton's got 57,000 people. Attleboro's got 45,000 people. New Bedford has 97,000 people, and they got 2 sites. So figure that one out, you know. And I was thinking on the resolution, we should include Seekonk, Rehoboth, Norton, and Taunton. None of them have testing sites, and you're adding 100,000 people.
Right.
But that
Right.
was, you know, that. But I don't want to mess up Councilor Waterman's resolution. I really like it the way it's written. I think it's got power the way it's written. But I was thinking, well, can we make it more powerful? That's up to Councilor Waterman.
I would be glad to do so. Do I need to have a formal vote to add that in? I think.
Well, I'll make an amendment. I'll make it as an amendment, Councilor Waterman. I move that we amend your last whereas the neighboring communities in the greater Attleboro area to include Norton.
But you're not on the committee, Rick.
Oh, I'm not on the committee. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, well then, I'll make my own motion. I'll make an amendment to the motion. How's that?
Great.
We already have Norton. To include Seekonk, Rehoboth, I'm writing them as I say.
Taunton.
Taunton, and where might we have missed? I don't think,
He has Mansfield on there.
yes, we have. I think that'll cover it.
Mhm.
And that will probably add about 90,000 people.
So you need a second.
So I need a second from my committee.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Councilor Claire.
And Ty.
Yes?
I just
please.
have one more follow-up, if you don't mind.
I don't-
To Richard's comment, I did also find out that Morton Hospital in Taunton has, since April, has tested for free over 2,000 of police and firefighters.
Really?
Yes,
Correct.
they have.
So there's something I'd like to add. The same gentleman that.
Wait a minute. So you have it, point of order.
Yeah,
We have a motion as amended on the floor, adding those 3 communities. You need to vote the amendment, and then you would have the motion as amended.
right. All those in favor of the amendment? In the
Aye.
committee? Aye. Opposed? None. Thank you. The amendment passes. Let's vote on the entire motion. All those in favor of the motion?
Just point of order,
Aye.
Councilor Waterman, before you do that, were you going to add something else?
No, but I'm open to another
No,
amendment.
no, I didn't know, you said I'd have one other thing to add before you voted this one.
I was going to talk about a different subject.
Okay, sorry about that.
So all those in favor of the motion with the amendment as added?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. So the motion passes with the amendment. So I wanted to add that I too spoke to the gentleman that you referred to as Rob. I believe he's in the Executive Office of Health and Human Services. And he informed me as of about 6 days ago that we were not scheduled to get a testing site. I asked why. And I was with the mayor when we did this. And he said that all of Eastern Massachusetts would be in the red zone. And we're no different than anywhere else. That was the answer. I told him how far you have to go to different testing sites. And he understood that, actually. And he understood why it is difficult for a lot of people to get down to Fall River. And that's where we are right now. I believe that that Congressman Kennedy is behind this issue, and I believe that one or two of his staff are also scouting out potential sites in the Attleboro area. But I don't have anything specific to add there. Is there any further discussion or questions? Okay. So thank you, Jessica, for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see a lot more of you, I'm sure.
I'm sure you will. Have a good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
And now for the last item from the docket of March 3rd, 2020, I entertain a motion to approve the request for the reappointment of Joe Parent to the Fire Commission. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Before we have a vote, I believe Joe might be with us. Joe Parent here, listening? Joe, are you there?
Yes, Councilor Waterman, I'm here. I just clicked on.
Thank you very much. For the council's information, I've had a hard time finding you. And we finally met for the first time today. I think I was calling a wrong phone number or something. But Joe, you have served on the Fire Commission since when? Or approximately when?
Oh, I've probably been on it for at least 6 or 7 years. I'm not quite sure. I have to really go back a ways.
So about 5 of the members of the council would be new to you, because the last time you were reappointed would have been 3 or possibly 4 years ago, and some of us have come on since. Can you share a little bit about yourself, Joe?
Well, I'm a retired firefighter, paramedic, and also a nurse. Retired about 16 years ago. Since then, I've been working for Procter & Gamble in Boston as a registered nurse with a upgrade in occupational health. Also, I spent 25 years with Rhode Island DMAT as a disaster medical assistant team member, responding across the country to different disasters and medical instances, mostly hurricanes and most famous World Trade Center and Katrina. But having done all that, I still like to keep my hands in my local area. And I was actually surprised to hear from you tonight, Councilor Waterman.
Well, I'm sorry I couldn't reach you earlier. So would you share with us the status of the Fire Commission at this time and how you envision, because you've been on the commission for a while now.
Right. As far as I can tell, we probably haven't met in over 2 years, and that being because we failed to have a quorum. One of the members who some of the council may remember had passed away.
Yeah.
And his departure, we haven't had a quorum. So even though we had 3 people, the chief, myself, and Skip Knox, who was a former captain on the department also, it really wasn't up to the chief to be part of the quorum. So we were hoping that they'd quickly appoint a 3rd member, and that didn't happen. And it's just diminished to, I guess, just myself right now. Otherwise, there'd be no commission whatsoever.
Yeah, I did talk to Skip. He's moved to New Hampshire and his term is up in February, so he's not coming back. So that would leave you alone at this point. But you said when we talked on the phone, you said we were talking about the reasons to have a commission, and you wanted to say something about that.
Well, I think we just need some community involvement just to give the any of these commissions, to give the department heads another voice in what they're doing, how they're doing, not to run the show, but just to add another voice to the discussion. Because like I told you, Mr. Councilman Waterman, I don't think we've ever pushed on any issue. We've listened to the chief and gave our opinions, and it's up to the chiefs or the department heads to do what they think is best for the department or the city. But I'm a strong advocate of trying to provide the best service possible for the citizens of our city, and that's kind of where I stand.
In our conversation, and I'm going to open it up to other counselors after this comment. You talked about your involvement with the kitchen that we happened to vote on tonight. Can you share what you had to do with the kitchen?
Well, like I mentioned to you, it must have been, I'd have to say, at least almost 30 years ago that we installed that kitchen. Former firefighter that's passed away, Bob Pelletier, and I, and most of the guys on that shift at that time and other shifts all played a part in building that kitchen. And it is long overdue. It's lasted far longer than I ever anticipated the cabinets to have stood the ravage of time and constant use.
Is there anybody who would like to ask any questions or comments? Thank you, Councilor Blair. I see you. Yeah.
Hi, Joe.
Hi,
How
Peter.
are you?
How are you, Peter?
Hey, I'm glad we've got you there, and hopefully through tonight's broadcast and whatnot, we'll get some people step forward who would like to join that commission, because the police commission and the fire commissioners certainly add to both departments, and I'm sure the chiefs in both departments and enjoy and appreciate input coming from you. So it's good to see you being reappointed, and hopefully the mayor gets some other people on that commission to help you out, as well as the chief. Thanks for your service, Joe.
I appreciate your comments, Peter. Thank you.
Any other comments, or anybody else want to speak?
Bye.
Yes, Councilor Delizio.
Thank you. Joe, thanks for coming out tonight. It's always good to hear from you. And I think as a former police commissioner, I understand what you were saying, and really want to piggyback off of what Councilor Blair was saying is, you know, there is a lot of importance in these committees, and it's a valuable resource to the chiefs. So thank you for your continued service to the community in the city of Attleboro. And I echo Peter's sentiments of hopefully people are watching and want to get involved, because these are important commissions. So thank you for your service.
Thank you, Councilor.
Anybody else? Please speak up if I don't see you. Okay. All right. I would like to call for a vote now. All those in favor of reappointment? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I heard that. All 3. Okay, it passes 3-0. And before you leave us, Joe, you had told me a story about your involvement with opening up the fire department once a year and the breakfast that they weren't able to hold this year, but every other year. And,
Yes, I had gotten the idea many years ago, probably 26, 27 years ago, while I was visiting New Hampshire. One of the stations up there had something very similar. I thought it'd be a good idea to bring it back to Attleboro, and the idea was to bring the public in and just to have them experience and get to tell our story as we walk through the line and sit down and have breakfast and talk to the firefighters, and just so they got a full appreciation of what we're capable of and what we can do. And that was the whole impetus of the breakfast. And I'm surprised that it's gone on for so long. And I would hope that it would continue into the future. I think it's a good deal for the citizens, and it's good public relations for the department, as well as the people to get to meet their local firefighters. As we know, firefighters change throughout the year, and it's always a good meeting, good breakfast.
well, Joe, thank you for coming on and for doing what you do for the city. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That will conclude the business of the Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services Committee tonight. I would like to call for an adjournment. Do I have a second?
Second.
All
Second.
those in favor? I heard you. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. We are adjourned and we'll meet the next appropriate time. Thank you.
I'd like to call the Capital Improvements and City Development Committee to order at 7:43. Sitting on this committee is Councilor Dolan and Councilor Waterman. I have two measures to bring before you this evening. From the docket of January 5th, 2021, I entertain a motion regarding an awarded grant of $151,500 for the implementation of a disaster recovery infrastructure, and approve expending such funds and any future grant amendments. The grant must be spent by January 1st, 2022.
I'll second it.
Councilor Waterman, you're not on my committee. I'm looking. Oh, yes, you are. Thank you. With deja vu. I read Councilor Karen Polito's letter that was creating the award for the city and was left wanting to know more. So I got in touch with the person who wrote the grant, who is William Lennox. And Bill sent me the application, and what the $151,000 is going to do is implement a off-site backup and storage for the city and public safety. So their backup storage needs for the city have grown exponentially over the past few years, and the capacity is not kept up. So Bill Lennox has increasing concern over ransomware attacks on local governments and public safety networks. In fact, I think you all probably heard about that in the news, national news this week. And so his concern over that ransomware led to him writing this grant so that he could create an offsite backup and storage center where we could secure the data and effectively and quickly restore the data if the need arises. So I'm very happy about this. And he goes on to just talk about the sustainability of the backup system. And he details all the equipment that he needs to buy to create this offsite data storage. And it's a very competitive grant. The Community Compact Council is chaired by Karen Polito, and they get an overwhelming number of requests for the grants that they cannot provide. It's only a $3.2 million fund. And I want to congratulate Bill and thank Bill for writing the grant, because it's the easiest way of getting this done. So do we have any further discussion?
No.
Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. From the docket of December 1st, 2020, I entertain a motion to approve the request to waive the fees collected by the city associated with the Attleboro Pawtucket Interconnection Project.
Second. Yep.
Thank you. I think we've been through this before. At the request of our city budget director, it doesn't make sense to charge ourselves a fee, so
Yeah.
they can't be waived without a vote from the council. Any discussion?
I think we covered it.
Okay, good. I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. That concludes the business capital improvement city development committee has to bring before you this evening. We look forward to a meeting at the next appropriate time, and I'll call for a motion to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I declare the capital improvement committee
Aye.
adjourned at 7:47.
I'd like to call the Public Works Committee to order at 7:47. I have 2 motions this evening to read to you. And basically, I'm just going to talk about trash. It's all about trash this evening. From the docket of January 5th, 2021, I entertain a motion to transfer $8,920.56 from account 1124-1000-578300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 1124-1000-530101 Citywide Professional Services for a camera to be installed to track illegal dumping.
Second.
Thank you. So I had a long conversation with Jessica Horseman, who we just met earlier, our newly to be health agent, and asked her about, the illegal dumping and is it as bad and has it gotten worse? Does she think, even though she's coming from a different community, she still has seen it in her community? And she said, absolutely. Other communities are talking about the same thing, and they have noticed a big difference since the whole pandemic started. I mean, people were at home. They started cleaning out their basements, their garages, whatnot. But only to find out like St. Vincent de Paul was closed, Savers is closed, all those, what do you call them? Like the Planet Aid boxes that you can drop off all your wares to, your clothes, your shoes, they're all closed. And some people were able to order dumpsters and take care of it properly. And others, they just didn't have the means to do that. So they were finding many more refrigerators and washing machines and dryers and just like ridiculous stuff, couches and chairs and etc. And there's several spots throughout the city of Attleboro, which I had gone with Chief Hegney about. He disclosed where those are. But so this kind of became a brainchild for Chief Hegney, this idea to put a camera up in some of the more isolated areas to try and catch these people. And we can catch them through the camera, and the camera, they can take that evidence and go through their RMV, get license plate and present that in court, and they can actually charge them with it, which makes it so much easier than having a policeman sit in the bushes and jump out and say, ooh, I caught you. So Chief Hegney's pretty excited about, being able to do this and try and help prevent a lot of the dumping, because what's happening too is the police department gets a lot of complaints, a lot of phone call complaints, and then they have to call the health department. It's the health department's responsibility to go out and clean up all this stuff. So that means you're taking away personnel from the health department. And right now, especially with them being the backbone behind taking care of us with this COVID and the virus, the whole thing, it's really not fair for them to be down staff out there chasing out all this trash. So I am in complete support of this. Also, Rentham had done something similar to this, and so they have had great success. I would hope that everyone would support me in this, and if anybody has any questions or comments, Councilor Kobus and Councilor DeSimone.
I just have a quick question, and I honestly don't know the answer. So in Massachusetts, there's some laws about the right to face your accuser, and there's a reason why we don't have cameras on red lights to take pictures of cars. And I just want to make sure that we have the solicitor review this and make sure that we can actually charge somebody that we catch on this camera, or confirm that these other communities that have done this have been able to successfully find people that it catches with the cameras.
Sure, I will double check that before our next meeting in January.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Councilor DeSimone, please.
Thank you, Councilor Jackson. I just have a question. I support, I think it's a great idea. I guess my question is, it seems expensive, and that's completely, and because I don't know anything about this particular type of camera, and I inquire because I'd like to have more than one. So do you know why it costs $8,900? Is there something special about it that is required for use by a police department, or?
That I do not know. I just know that it is, we don't have to leave it in just one spot. So we try it in a smaller area as opposed to a larger area where it might be a longer distance. Say it's a longer road where it just seems to be the whole road gets dumped on. You would want more than one camera there because obviously they could stop and then just keep going. You have no traceable evidence. But when you have the camera on a pole and it's looking into one smaller spot, it's a lot easier. This is the cost of, I know we had upgraded our camera system throughout our home not that long ago. And this seems like a reasonable price for the city of Attleboro. And we're using the same company that had just installed the cameras at the water department. And he's, it's a wonderful company and he's very honest and very good. But I can find out, yes, I can find that out for you as well before January.
Thank you, Vice President Jackson.
My pleasure. Councilor Conti.
Thank you, Councilor Jackson. Through the chair to Councilor DeSimone, a few years back when I was involved in raising the money for the South Attleboro Veterans Memorial Pavilion, we were concerned about the safety of that pavilion and looked into the cost for video cameras. And thankfully, a company named Black Watch out of Foxborough donated the camera, and it was almost twice what this cost is. And the costs were not only for installing and connecting the camera to the Comcast system so that it could be on the wire, but also the Comcast subscription, because the camera becomes like a cable box. So there's it's not just all equipment, it's also a service, and the connectivity and disconnectivity that charges that fall into play. And that concludes my comments, Councilor.
Thank you, Councilor.
Thank you, Councilor Conti. Any other questions or concerns? Oh, Councilor Holmes, excuse me. Councilor, I'm muted.
Muted.
Sorry about that.
That's
Going,
okay.
thank you for acknowledging me. Going off of what Councilor Kobus just mentioned, so these cameras are going to be specifically for illegal dumping. They're not going to be for any other law. I mean, that does, I think Councilor Kobus is right. We need to ask the city solicitor, because this is opening up, like, our camera's going to be used if there's a crime, or I don't know how I feel about this. And I'm also just really disappointed because I feel like the contract that was acknowledged, when you tell city residents that they can no longer, that the city's not going to help them get rid of stuff, they're going to illegally dump. This is a direct result of a poor contract. We are not letting residents get rid of things. They're dumping now. This is exactly what was going to happen. So I'm really disappointed, number one, about that. This is nothing about you, Vice President Jackson. I'm not, obviously this is nothing to do with you. I'm upset about that contract. And then I'm concerned about having cameras for other reasons. So I don't know how I feel about this, to be honest with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, I do know that in speaking with the chief, he did say that Rentham has been doing this for quite a bit of time now, and it's been extremely successful. And so I will follow through on that, and I will get those answers for all of you before the next meeting, or by the next meeting, excuse me. Any other comments or questions? Councilor Waterman.
Yeah, I'm curious if you think we might actually on a sign say that they're being viewed by a camera.
Absolutely not.
No.
No, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. It's illegal, and we're catching them doing something illegal. Yeah. Then they'll just move to another spot where it doesn't say that there's cameras on them. But like all the other councilors have asked, I will follow up with our city solicitor and with the chief again as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other comments or questions?
Vice President Jackson?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Councilor Delicio, I see you down there.
No worries. Thank you. So I know in the past when we voted on cameras, there was a situation once when they were already installed before the vote. Are these cameras installed or are they going to be installed?
They are going to be installed if we approve it. They have not been purchased. They have not, we don't have them yet.
Okay, and do we know what the time frame is, what they're looking at?
No, I do not.
Okay, okay, thank you.
But I just know that one thing I do know, Council Delicio, is that it's very easy for them to mount it from one pole, take it from one area and move it to the next area. That's very simple to do.
So we're talking about one camera that's easily transportable.
That is correct.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other comments or questions? With none, I'd like to bring that forward. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Oops, thank you. Motion carries. And secondly, from the docket of December 15th, 2020, I entertain a motion to transfer $9,938.73 from account 11241-000-578-3000 citywide reserve fund for transfer to account 11241-000-553015 citywide trash receptacles to replace trash bins in the city center.
Second.
Thank you. So this came down a couple weeks ago from the mayor's office. He feels that the trash bins are an eyesore in downtown right now. They're pretty deplorable. They went out and got a quote, and this is the quote that they received. Are there any questions or comments? Council Blair.
Okay, just one quick question. Who picks up the trash in those containers?
Waste Management picks them up. And
Okay,
of late, again, more and more people are bringing their kitchen trash down,
yeah.
And it's funny, I'd never noticed the trash bins. I really just haven't ever paid attention to them, I guess, until I got this motion and I started to really pay attention. And they've been like over full and they're messy. They really are looking messy. But then I'm also looking around thinking, well, we got a lot of cigarette butts on the ground. We also got a lot of, those lottery tickets all over the place. And I don't know, but we want to clean downtown since we're trying to attract businesses. I totally get it.
That was my question. Who picked it up, Kate? So
Yeah, they're on a schedule
part of
to
the
pick it up.
contract,
Yes. Yes.
And adding to it's not going to add to the cost of the contract?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Any other comments, questions? Yes, Council Waterman, please.
So we had already spoken, but I'll share with the entire council. I was so impressed once when I took a trip to Toronto, which is a beautiful city, the cleanest city I've ever seen. And they have these receptacles all over the city saying, "Keep Toronto beautiful." And it makes you think when you see something like that. So I'm glad you picked up on that, and I hope we can do something special with these barrels.
Thank you, Council Waterman. Any comments or questions? If none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And before I do adjourn, I just wanted to carry a message along. The Public Works Department, the Water Department, Health Department, they all did a great job with handling our big storm we just had, which, came in really fast. At least they were prepared. They were well prepared, I believe. And even though the DPW is down 15, is that what I said? Yeah, 15 snow removal contractors, and they're down 2 positions in DPW, and they're down 9 citywide employees that would normally have plowed. They did a heck of a good job, but they did run into problems with people who did not obey the city ordinance, where you're not allowed, when you're shoveling, you are not allowed to put the snow into the street. If you're a plower and you come and plow someone's driveway or someone's business, you're not allowed to put it out in the street. So I just want to remind people that that is not allowed per our city ordinance. And if they would please obey it, because the drivers, even Superintendent Tyler ran into people that were just doing it, and he'd stop and they'd say, you're not allowed to do that. Well, why? Where else am I supposed to put it? And I understand that some properties are a lot smaller, but they got to figure it out for themselves what to do with the snow, because it shouldn't be going into the streets, because the plows are going by, they're cleaning up, and then all that snow gets thrown in there, and then they get called back to go do it, and that's just a big hassle. So I just want to remind residents, please keep your snow in your own yard. Council Blair.
I brought that up a couple of years ago, Kate, if you remember that it sickens me to get down the street. I plowed for 40 years myself, and I personally always cleaned the street up after I was done. But you get down the street and the plows leave the people that plow for a living are charging for, they're not even conscious of it. They leave windrows out. And it, like you said, it's a maintenance problem for the highway department to come back. And it's also dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we should step up some enforcement on this, make the homeowner liable, even if it's a private contractor.
And Council Blair, it's not even just homeowners. It's also like businesses down in the South Attleboro area where they run into whoever to plow for that business. They plow it right onto the sidewalk. So there's nowhere for anybody to walk down in that area. And it's not the fault of any of our city employees. It's the fault of whoever was plowing. They just say, well, just push it onto the sidewalk. That's just, it's so not fair. But yes.
Sidewalks are city property also, Kate. So they put it on the sidewalk or the street. They should be held responsible. And I'm sure if business owners or the homeowners had to fork over some money for that, it would certainly ease the burden on the highway department.
Too bad they don't have cameras. Councilor DeSimone.
Councilor Jackson, I appreciate your sentiments. As I was driving around after the storm, I noticed the inconsistency from some businesses who took the time to clear the sidewalk at least. And I know they're not obligated to do so, but to me, it makes good business sense. It also is being a good community member. Some did it and some just totally ignored it. And I was concerned. There were a lot of people walking down Pleasant Street the day after the storm. A lot of people who I think these are some local homeless people, but there were a lot of people forced to walk in the street because of the sidewalks. And I would hope, I respectfully ask that some of the businesses maybe help a little bit more to at least take care of the sidewalks in front of their properties.
They're required to.
Yeah. Well, that was quite a few did not. And I was looking the ordinance to see if that was the case. There were quite a few who did not even make an effort. So
again, they need cameras.
Thank you, Councilor Jackson.
Any other comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
That wasn't even a motion.
Yes.
No. Yes. We were just going to get one though. I'd ask for an adjournment at
Second.
Thank you. At 8:04. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We are adjourned at 8:04. Thank you and Merry Christmas.
I would like to call budget appropriations to order at 8:04. I have two motions to bring before us tonight from the docket of January 5th, 2021. I entertain a motion to authorize the school department to pay fiscal 2020 school bills totaling $732.55, as these fiscal obligations were not received in the normal billing cycle.
Second.
Again, this is just authorizing the schools to pay GovConnection Incorporated $167.55, Massachusetts School Administrators Association $195, Brittany Kitsamore $370 for a total of $732.55. Any questions, thoughts, concerns?
No question.
Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Also, from the docket of January 5th, 2021, I move to authorize a communicate. I gotta take a look at this. The motion was written up, but I move to authorize a transfer of $40,000 from account 112410000-578 300 citywide reserve fund for transfer to account 114510000-530101 treasurer professional services.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I don't see that on my
Agreed.
on my minutes.
It's not in the minutes, but it is on the docket and it was in last week's communication.
Can you,
Okay, so it's just a clerical
Correct.
Scrivener error. Got it.
can you tell us a little bit more about this one?
100%. As soon as I get a second.
A second.
All
Sorry.
right, thank you. Yeah, so this money is to maintain 32 files that we have with Siddell and Siddell, which is the tax title attorney. This comes down, this is probably the 5th year that Laura's come down and asked for this. You know, it helps to maintain the files, courts, probate cases, foreclosures, auctions. This year it's a little more difficult given the fact that the courts have been closed. So we budgeted $35,000. It's not enough. We have some cases that are very complicated. They might come with environmental type restrictions. You know, we have over 237 files totaling $2 to $3 million. You know, and Siddell has been great. And so far this year, we've collected $700,000. They've helped us collect 400 of that. You know, Laura's done a really nice job being able to bring in 300,000 herself. This will be paid for with the money that we bring in. So I think my biggest concern about this is we should start to budget for this instead of coming down every year at this time of year asking to carry us over. So I'm just trying to, yeah, so if it's not funded, and this is what's really important. So if it's not funded, the progress stops. So there would be no money coming in. There would be no clearing these records off the books. You know, we have, as I said, 237 files right now. Each year we get about 128 to 100, I'm sorry, we get about 28 to 32 files that we push on to Siddell and Siddell to help bring this, to get these funds back. So it's a necessary, it's a cost of doing business. Councilor Conti?
So I'm going to support this measure, Mr. Chairman, because I don't want to tie the hands of the treasurer to be able to do her job. And that's what we would do if we did not pass this.
Yep.
I agree with you that it should be budgeted, but Siddell and Siddell has been servicing this city for a long time. They also handle all the appellate tax board cases for Julie down in the assessor's office.
Yep.
So because we don't have a legal staff in the city, we have to rely on outside vendors to be able to provide all the legal services to the city. And to be honest with you, I think that we've gotten away with not funding a lot of things. And I'm back to that, and I don't want to get off the topic. You know, do we need a legal department in the city, or should we continue to have everything serviced outside? That's a subject for the administration to address, not the council. So I'll be supporting this measure, and I think it's a very wise move. And that concludes my comments.
Council, thank you. I support your comments and endorse them wholeheartedly. Thank you for that. Councilor Corbis?
I am also supportive of this and agree with both of you that we should make sure that we review this when it comes time for budget season next year. The fact that it was my understanding based on what you said is it was budgeted at 35K. We're asking for an additional 40K now. So it's more than 100% increase from what was budgeted. So that's, I'll look back before next week at, you know, what we had spent on this for previous years. But that sounds like a huge increase. I understand it's a unique year, but that's a pretty big increase. With that said, I'm still supportive.
Yeah, the reality is, Todd, and thank you for your comments, is I don't know how unique it is. I think it comes down every year, and it might not be the 40,000. It might be somewhere in that ballpark. I know that we've talked about, to Councilor Conti's point, we've talked about the legal fees, you know, on this council for years. And I think it's important to note, because I agree with Councilor Conti's sentiments. The other thing to keep in mind is that when you have a Siddell and Siddell who is so intimate with the city of Attleboro, whether it's through Julie Hobson's office or Laura's. There's an institutional knowledge that comes along with this, which is really helpful as we're trying to, get to the probate, get to the foreclosures, to the auctions, in a year like this, to be able to collect $400,000 with the help of Sedell and Sedell, 300 on her own, I think it speaks to the fact that this is one of those budget items that ultimately will pay for itself. The last thing I would add to that is, we always want to see some of the money come in because we want to see and want to be able to help people who might have been struggling to pay their taxes, to be able to pay their taxes, to stay in their home. So this is really important work. Any other questions, thoughts, or concerns on this?
None.
All right, seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion passes 3-0. Before I adjourn, just want to make sure that everyone has a great, healthy, and happy Christmas and New Year's, and look forward to seeing you all in 2021. That being said, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned to day 12.
See you next year.
See you next year. Thanks, committee.
Perfect. Call the Zoning and Land Use Committee to order at 8:12. We have one item of business tonight. The couple other items we're waiting on public hearings for the street acceptance of, Nicholas Drive and a portion of Oak Hill Meadows Way, which will be happening on January 5th. Also, we're waiting on a decision from the planning board regarding their recommendation for the rezoning on behalf of the Atlantic Golf Centers. But the item for tonight, so I move to call for a joint public hearing with the planning board on January 19th to review the proposed changes to section 17-13 of the zoning ordinance with regard to the Water Resource Protection District.
Second.
And thank you, Councilor Delicio. Motion's in order. So I've updated the minutes with the proposal from Gary Arasian. This is just a call for a public hearing on January 19th, where we'll have Gary Arasian and a joint public hearing. And this is to streamline the Water Resource Protection District permit granting. Any questions, President Cooper?
Thank you, Council Cobus. In the meantime, before the 19th and before this gets advertised, just send it to the city solicitor and then circulate to all councilors so we all know what gets published in the paper and then approved by the solicitor to form, and then we can take it from there. That gives plenty of time to advertise the public hearing. But if we do that in the meantime, then that work will be done.
That perfect. That was my second thing to ask, was if we could send this to the solicitor. So thank you.
You can, and just CC me.
Of course.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. All right. And that concludes the business of the Zoning and Land Use Committee. I move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Zoning and Land Use Committee is adjourned at 8:15.
I'd like to call License Committee to order at 8:15. I have two motions this evening from the docket of January 5th, 2021. Oh, that's right, it is 2021. I entertain a motion to approve the Class 2 license for South Attleboro Auto Sales, Inc. with 10 customer parking spaces and 30 display spaces.
Second.
Thank you. I did go down there and there's no cars there at all. There's nothing there. And I haven't received a call back. It's the same people that are renewing the license. So I know the building was sold. So I don't know if they're just the same people that are going to renew with the same owners. But I haven't received a call back on that. But I did follow up with them. Does anybody have any questions or anything? President Cooper?
So tell me where this is.
It's, you know, near the new gas station where the old shed place used to be, it goes up the hill. Is it Sweetland?
Oh,
It's
yes,
a-
it goes up the, yes. I know exactly where you
on the
mean.
corner.
And they moved locations, right?
No, well, the building was sold. There's no cars there right now. It's the same people as last year, but
But I thought they relocated their business and came before the council, no?
oh, yeah, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah,
Am I thinking of the same people? Hold
yes,
on one
I think
second.
we are, because they came before us. They moved locations because the property was sold. Right? Can't remember their name. I could dig, but I won't right now, but I could dig and probably find it.
Because I looked at last year's and it's the same people on the application.
Yeah, so I'm not, I mean, you can do as you choose through the committee tonight, but I won't support it until you hear back from them.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'll wait to hear back from them.
Yeah.
So do you mind taking back your second, Kate?
No, I withdraw my second.
I'm gonna leave this till I hear back from them. So I'll move on. From the docket of January 5th, 2021, I entertain a motion to approve the application for Seekonk Gas Repair, Inc., DBA 123 Mobile with 4 customer parking spaces and 9 storage spaces.
Second.
Anybody have any questions or anything?
Um,
All those,
no.
President Cooper?
Tell me again where this one is.
Corner of County Street at County Square across from Duncan.
Got it. And you heard back from them and everything was okay?
Yeah, well, yeah, I didn't I mean, I went there, but I didn't.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And that's all the business.
Counselor Dolan, excuse me. I'm just looking up that other South Attleboro Auto Sales.
Yep.
They have their business address as 411 Washington Street.
Yes.
And then, let me just see something. The last name is Rocha?
Yes.
Okay. And then it also says that the repair facility is 375 Washington Street.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking
That's not
the backup material from December 15th, an application of Class 2 license, South Attleboro Auto. I'm looking up the backup material, South Attleboro Auto Sales, Inc.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah.
I don't have, I must be missing a page then.
Okay. Okay. No worries. I just thought I'd bring it to your attention.
Yeah, it looks like, if I may, 375 looks like the Meineke, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have anything that says that.
Okay.
Huh. I must be missing that page because I have the lot plan.
Yep.
And I have the application with the phone numbers and addresses.
Yep. And then the second page in between the lot plan and the first it says the location repair facility is 375 Washington Street.
No, I don't have that.
Okay, I'll drop it off to you tomorrow in your mailbox.
Because their one from last year doesn't say anything about 375 Washington Street on it at all. All right, I'll follow up with that. I'll find out what's going on over there.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Did I adjourn? Did I do it? I didn't adjourn.
No, you
did I?
haven't. I interrupted you.
Do we have any other questions or anything?
Nope.
No.
I'd like to call for an adjournment at 8:21.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.
I'd like to call the City Property and Claims Committee to order at 8:21. And I have actually 3 motions. The first one's a little long, but it's from the docket of January 5th, 2021. I entertain a motion to declare the following Attleboro school copiers, there are 21 of them, as surplus and available for disposition. And the reasoning for that is that they are slow. Some of them are slow, some don't staple, some don't double side, some are feeder broken, they jam often, and some of them have many function errors. So basically they're broken in some manner or other. So there are 4 Lanier LD050s, and the serial numbers on those are M5685100433. The second one is an M5685200299 serial number. The third is an M5685200303 serial number. And the fourth one is M5685100355. There are 4 Lanier LD270s, and the serial numbers on those are M9385400109. Second one, M93853000567. The third one is M93853000555. And the fourth one is M93854000111. There are 4 Rizzos, RZ220UI, and those serial numbers are 15065255, 15064247 for the second one, 15063910 for the third one, and 82550642 for the fourth serial number. There are 3 Cannons, IR2870s, and their serial numbers are SLG11384. The second one is SLG10680, and the third one is SLG11582. There are 6 single ones. It's a Lanier LD0505 with the serial number M5685200298. 1 Lanier LD320D, and the serial number is L708714069. 1 Lanier LD360. Serial number V69956000586. 1 Canon IR2270 with a serial number SLH25730. 1 Canon IR2230 with a serial number THF02114. And the last one is a Rizzo with the model number EZ221U, and the serial number on that is 766-92764.
Second.
Thank you. Again, I don't have any concerns. They're all broken in some manner. Any questions or concerns from my committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. So that motion passes. The second motion from the docket of January 5th, 2021. I entertain a motion to declare the following police department vehicle as surplus and available for disposition. It's a 2011 Ford CV. The VIN number is 2 FABP7B V7BX176303, It has 91,000 miles on it, and it's in poor condition.
Second.
Thank you. Any concerns, questions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
That motion passes. And the third that I have is from the docket of January 5th, 2021. I entertain a motion to approve the anonymous donation of a Logitech C922X webcam with an estimated value of $120 to the school district to support the remote learning environment.
Second.
Thank you. Again, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Any questions or concerns? Yes, no?
No.
Okay. Can I get a pass on that, please? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. That motion passes too. And that is all the business that the City Property and Claims Committee has this evening. So I would like to call for an adjournment at 8:27.
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 8:27. Thank you.
Hello, calling Ordinance, Elections, and Legislative Matters Committee to order at 8:27. I believe that President Cooper has a little bit of an update that I wanted to provide to the committee because he spoke to the administration earlier. So I was hoping he could fill us in on some of the votes that took place last week.
Sure. So a couple of things. So the votes 26, 27, and 29 were vetoed by the mayor, as you know. Those will be coming back before the council, which will require a 2/3 vote to override the mayor's veto. He does intend, the reason for the veto was he intends to send down a change to the ordinance with the communication on the 5th, I believe. So that those changes will also come down. So his concern was around the dumping and around the fee, which is why he vetoed that. That's the update that I have at this point with regard to the trash vetoes.
So let me think how I want to word this. My frustration continues because I do feel like in some way this ordinance was brought down from the administration and then it was kind of changed because the contract was changed. And then we passed part of the ordinance and then the administration's vetoing part of that. And so I think that part of the issue is that the administration feels like there's language in the ordinance that he would like to remove from that. But this has been in the ordinance for quite some time. So I understand we don't want the ordinance to necessarily change every year when a contract changes or when a contract expires and then there's a new contract. At the same time, I want to be mindful that the council has a presence in this and that I don't want to just like erase this ordinance altogether. So I would like to hear from my committee members or if there's any other comments related to that, I'm open to listening. Councilor DeSimone.
Thank you, Councillor Holmes. I'm just trying to understand. It sounds like, well, first of all, we have no choice. If the mayor vetoed it, it's a veto. We must act accordingly. But I guess it sounds like an appropriate change. I don't have any particular objection to it. If there was something done in error or that needs to be corrected, at the end of the day, I think we need to do what is best for the residents, whatever that entails, however frustrating that may be. If the change is warranted and necessary and mistakes are made, then I think they need to be corrected. So at this point, I'm okay with it if I understand the situation correctly.
So,
President Cooper.
So just to be a little more specific, oh, there's a bobcat coming down your steps, Kathleen.
Sorry.
So item 26 was the collection of domestic solid waste. which was section 7.7. And the mayor wanted to make some changes to that, or wants to make some changes to that. That's why that was vetoed. 27 also is the fee. So the fee language in the new, what he sends down won't change, the 234.12, but items in that section, section 7.8 is my understanding as well, that the mayor is going to propose some change to. And then section 29. Oh, and the fees, the 27 had the 29 is the landscaping tickets, the compost center, and the mayor also had some changes that he wanted to make with regard to the compost center. So that's the reason, as I understand it from the mayor today and speaking to him. And we can get more into the details when the actual veto is presented back before the council. It will take a 2/3 vote of this council to override the veto. I don't think we've done one before, so I just wanted to make sure we were all aware of that.
Thank you. Vice President Jackson?
Thank you, Council Holmes. Might I suggest that with all this confusion and back and forth and frustration that you're having, perhaps invite the mayor down to one of your committee meetings to clarify, just to clarify what we're questioning himself, so that, you know, to be more clearer with us, so we better understand what his goals and objectives are through these ordinances and all the ordinance changes that he's proposing and then changing again.
I think that that's an excellent idea. I think that it would be helpful because, again, this was brought down from the administration. We've been talking about it. We had the public hearing, we pass it, and then it's like, no, I'm vetoing it. And so I think that this is where it's kind of feeling like we're going to lose either way. So I think that getting some clarification on that would definitely be helpful. Again, I'm not willing to strip away the council's role in this. In other words, to like make the ordinance like one sentence or something, just to make it so that the administration can kind of do whatever and that we're not included. So I think that if that's the goal, I have serious concerns about that. If the goal is to make the language more standard and not have to update the specifics of like in terms of the contract, I'm comfortable with that, but I'm not comfortable with erasing the council's role in this ordinance, which this has been an ordinance in the city for quite some time. So I just want to be mindful of that. And I think that that's a good idea. So I think in the new year, I can look to do that. And probably any kind of ordinance that comes down to include, if he's bringing down ordinance, to include him in the committee, if my committee members are comfortable with that. I think that's a great idea.
Agreed.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, so I feel like we did a lot of good, Council Kobus?
So based on this, it's my understanding that everything we voted on with regards to the solid waste program has been vetoed. Did anything we passed last week get approved, or?
Yep.
So where are we with the small bulk items? Is my general question.
I don't think that portion was vetoed. Yeah.
Okay, and that wasn't vetoed, that portion.
It did not pass.
Okay.
Votes 26, 20, hold on. Votes 26, 27, and 28 were vetoed.
Okay, got it. So we're still in the same predicament that we were in before with regards to small bulk items, is what I wanted to confirm.
That is correct.
Where the ordinance says one thing, but the contract says another.
Right. So we're still to Council Cope, if I may, Council Holmes. Council Kobus, yes, your and the several constituent complaints that I have been getting about inconsistency between the city contract and the city ordinance remains at this moment. Because what the ordinance says is one bulk item per week. What the contract says is $29, and they're inconsistent. And so what do the citizens of the city live by? The contract that the mayor signed or the ordinances that the council passes? So that's the conundrum that we find ourselves in today. And we will resolve that through the veto vote on the 5th.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. I just really want to thank the council, and especially my committee members, for just having a lot of patience with some of these things that can be kind of confusing at times, even for me mostly. So I think that will conclude the business unless my committee has anything else to say. Oh, Councilor Conti?
Yeah, I have a thought, and maybe somebody else can help me out.
Richard, I can't hear you.
Yeah, neither can I. It's got bad audio.
Oh, I didn't have my microphone down. I
There
apologize.
you go. Better.
I have a question. I want somebody to ask you to help me out here. I believe that the ordinances are the laws of the city. Is that not correct? So if the laws of the city say that the residents can put a bulk item out every week, it doesn't matter what the contract of the city with the contractor is. The city is on the hook for the fact that the law says you can put a bulk item out on the curb every week. What am I missing?
I don't know.
That's accurate.
You're right. You're not missing anything.
Thank you. Okay, I have a clear understanding and I appreciate the floor. Thank you.
Councilor Delicio, thank you for the comments.
Thank you, Chairwoman Holmes. Through the chairperson to the president, if I may. President Cooper, quick question. Some of the changes that he's proposing, and this is just for my own ignorance, is there a threshold that may trigger new public hearings?
Well, that's what we're going to have to ask, right? That's going to have to be the question. If the council doesn't override the veto, then I need to ask the solicitor, to Richard's point, what prevails. I know the answer, but I need to get it in writing.
Thank you.
This is Councilor DeSimone.
I'm sorry, Councillor Holmes. I was going to ask a question about a different matter, if I may, if this discussion is done.
I think so.
Okay. What are your plans moving forward with regard to the proposed health ordinances relating to the styrofoam and plastic food containers? Do you have a?
Sure. So the city solicitor was reviewing a few amendments, and I think that one of them, and she has not gotten back to me on that. So I'm hoping that in the new year that those would be coming out.
Okay.
So I'm just waiting for her response on those, and then I am hoping to bring them out.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. So again, I just want to thank my committee members for being patient with me. And then we will meet in the new year to kind of review some of these things. And if there's no other comments, I'll ask for an adjournment.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 8:39. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, President Cooper.
I think that's it.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Stay healthy.
Yes.
That's it.
Did you have something?
Yes, President Cooper, forgive me. If I may, the special committee on rules was in the minutes. Is that meeting not happening? May I ask the chair? Or?
It doesn't look it because Richard's gone.
Oh, fair enough. That's it then. Thank you, President Cooper.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Enjoy your time off.
Thanks. Oh yeah, I'm away.
Yeah, I know.
The acting president from Saturday till the 4th.
Thank you.
Thank
Enjoy,
you.
Mark. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yes. Good time. Bye.
Bye-bye.